around the clock, sports all the time. That's never gonna work. That's ridiculous.
Just remember to have fun out there today, and if you lose, I'll kill you.
This is Tall Can Audio.
Seriously, this thing is gonna be a cultural disaster.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back inside a brand new week of TCA. Matt Robinson, Rob Christie with you in the TCA Studio in beautiful Bytown, Canada. What's going on, man? It's been a little off and on, right? We had Thanksgiving. I thought you were busy. Turns out you weren't. I was supposed to be away. Turns out I wasn't. The week before that, I think you were here, and then the 2 weeks prior to that, I was gone. Before that, you were gone. So, a little choppy. What's happening?
You want the best? The best couldn't make it. This is what you got.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody.
I was listening. I had a little time to kill yesterday, and I was cruising around some live concerts on Spotify. So I settled in on Iron Maiden.
As one does.
Live, Rock in Rio, 2001. Anyways, some good
For
stuff.
like the 35th time.
Anyways, when it got to the end of the concert, it sort of kicks over into just single songs by different bands, but all live.
Yeah.
And so if you're familiar, Kiss used to, that's how they would open their show. You want the best? You got the best, right? And so this was a Guns N' Roses concert, and the guy comes out and that's what he said. You want the best? Well, the best couldn't fucking make it. So this is what you get. I thought that worked.
Yeah.
That fit. And I thought, I'm going to steal that.
Okay.
I'm good though, man.
I thought you were bringing it because of a loss for Kiss here last week.
Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
Oh, back in the New York groove.
It's not even his song.
Yeah, no, but
It's his biggest song, but it's...
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it though.
Yeah.
Don't shit on it. The guy's dead.
Well, you were shitting on my thing out there, and that guy's dead. Sam Rivers, bass player from Limp Bizkit, died this weekend. And
I don't know anything about that.
well, I wouldn't have thought so, but...
I didn't get a text from LSG. LSG is Dr. Death. He usually sends me RIP to everybody. Like anybody you know that's died, LSG is sending me a text. So Dr.
I was
Death.
going to say including pro wrestlers, but yeah, including pro wrestlers. LSG would know about
Of course.
it.
Yeah, he gets everything. But so I did not get
Yeah,
that.
Saturday, Sam Rivers of the bass player for Limp Bizkit.
Okay. Sorry about that, Sam.
So that's why we were
Oh,
riding with Limp Bizkit in the green room
as
today.
you do.
And you were talking about listening to your concert, and then it shifted into other things, and you appeared relieved when the first thing when I don't have a ton of Limp Bizkit. I have the songs I like. There's 10 or 12 of them or whatever. And when that was finished, it immediately moved over to Rage Against the Machine.
Yes.
And that improved Rob's mood a little bit here. So
Rob endorses this. Just a bullet in the head, my friend.
yeah. We're on social media at Tall Can Audio. A lot of you have responded there to the show. I did late-ish Friday evening after
Late-ish?
a Blue Jays disappointing loss.
Was it?
I was disappointed.
Fuck, I took a knee hard, man, after that.
The first one in a while, man, and I mentioned it on the show. I used to like coming in here to do things after big disappointing losses, but now I'm tired. Games start late, and I'm grumpy at the best of times. You don't have to
6:30 start though, man.
That was a 6 p.m., not 6:30. So that's why I was thinking before that game starts, I may do a post-game show. We might be able to make this happen. And then it was sort of getting late. Like, it still was well after 9 before the game ended. I was like, probably not. And then it ended the way it did. And suddenly, I no longer had thoughts on the game. I had feelings about the game. And I thought those feelings needed to come out. So, first, as our buddy Steve McLean dubbed it, Rage Pod in a little while. I used to call them that. But I no longer feel rage. I now feel defeated most of the time. And especially because the Rage Pod used to follow the Leafs. And now it's just acceptance pods. Or why do a podcast on this? This is just what they do, right? So,
It's Groundhog Day, Matt. That's what it is.
That's about right. But, well, we can get into this a little later. Although, just before we get to the beers, I will acknowledge you and I are having this conversation mid-Sunday afternoon, so we have no idea. By the time you guys are hearing this, the Blue Jays have had a stunningly good performance on Sunday night and have forced a Game 7, which is what I believe is about to happen.
There is no in-between, ladies and gentlemen.
It's also possible you're listening to this and the season is over and
Over!
things have gone poorly. So we don't know at this point where that's at, but we can touch on it or not. But we always start in the same place, and that is with...
I'm drinking. Who's coming with me?
What do you got, man?
I'm with you, buddy. I'm always with you.
And that smells citrusy coming across the table already. Fruity or...
So that is when my Sunday Thanksgiving plans sort of fell through. They were for dinner elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Some unfortunate things happened, but neither here nor there. We went out to the Better Half's brother's place.
Yep.
Have a couple beers, and his wife, who you know as she's the one that brought in the BB Kush,
Well,
the Gushers. Yeah,
brought in not enough of it, but brought it in.
Yeah, that she addressed that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, he's okay. He's good.
Appreciate that. This also dates back to some green room talk.
Yeah.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah. She's got a good heart.
I get that.
Anyway, she was down and she brought me back another Gusher from all my friends. Gusher number 12, which was strawberry shortcake.
From all my friends, but for none of your friends.
Well, I don't have any friends, right? You got to have a friend. Sorry, that's...
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but that's more of a statement on you than on me. Or maybe it's more of a statement on me than it is on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, it was a strawberry shortcake
nice.
Gusher, which was delicious. For those of you in the Ottawa area who ever had, the old orange Julius, they had a strawberry Julius. That's what this tasted like.
Okay.
Very nice.
That is not what I'm getting across the table.
That's not what I'm having today.
Okay.
But this is also from all my friends. This is called the Evil Eye Triple IPA.
Okay.
10%.
Okay.
So I'm expecting it to be
It's potent.
hoppy out the yin yang. So I poured it because I wanted to see.
Let the out the yin yang part occur after you've.
Yeah, well, it depends how long you go, man.
Pitter-patter.
It's how much talk you do. You're very long-winded. Yeah. And so I wanted to see what it was like in terms of the look of it and the smell of it. So that's what I'm having. I'm letting it sit for a second. What do you have over there?
Well, we have taken very different paths here today. You have
Not just to the beers.
I'm sitting here going, got a Jays game tonight. Doesn't start till 8:00. I need to be careful here through the early part of the day.
Doucement.
You have decided pedal down, building the fortification early in the day for what is about to come.
In the green room, I had a beautiful buy down.
That is insane. Go back to back, a green room 10%er.
I want to compare the two.
You're not going to see the end of the game.
Oh, for sure I will.
You will, but
I'm a vet. I'm drinking.
Who's coming with me?
I'm drinking. Who's coming with me?
Not Matt. Not Matt, apparently.
I am. I'm just spreading it out, man. I'm because I know when the first pitch flies, I'll be into the rum, right? And so I don't need a 10%er and then an 8%er. Although in that aforementioned Rage Pod that dropped on Friday evening, I also went with the beautiful buy down 10%. I was needing something in that moment. This over here, I've circled back. Well, maybe I had this the last time you were in as well from this brewery, but it's been a couple of weeks for me. From Broken Stick, I have. This is the Dandelion Blonde Ale, 5%.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Well, I've already had a couple pulls on it. It's what you'd expect out of a blonde. Pretty nice. But I had to sort through a couple of them. Like, oh, that's 8%. Oh, that's 7%. Let's not get there yet. I have decided to try and take a even-keeled road to first pitch, at which point all bets are off.
Okay, so on first couple of sips on this, I'm getting...
That is still potent in the air, wafting across the table, more than the one that's sitting right in front of me.
Yeah. Well, and what I get is it's almost got a pineapple finish to it. It's, when the alcohol gets high and it gets that sort of almost syrupy taste to it? So to me, I always associate hoppiness somehow with carbonation, which I know is not the case. But I find the carbonation usually is a nice backbone for the hoppiness.
Right.
So this to me is got a kind of a boozy pineapple. It's not bad. It's not bad. We're going to see, but it is
boozy pineapple.
It is hazy
name
though.
the pint
It is
that. I'd
hazy.
buy that.
Yeah, it is hazy.
Yeah.
It's sort of darker. Had a nice head when I poured it. So
Did you say it was a triple?
yeah, triple IPA.
Yeah. Okay.
10%. The evil eye.
I'll say.
Yeah. So that's the thing I always look to see. If you how do you balance that booziness with, because what Andy was able to do with the Beautiful Bytown
Yeah.
is it didn't taste super boozy. And again,
For better and for worse.
yes, at the 10th anniversary party when I had 4 Beautiful Bytowns.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it, right?
Oh, it'll get you.
No speed bump.
It'll
And sometimes
get
you need the speed bump, the little
do.
reminder that it wasn't there.
Hey, this tastes like a little bit of booze.
Right.
Yeah. So this is,
Give me another one.
yeah, this is nice. I did put in the middle. The 5th beer I had was a Needle Light in between.
See, I staggered each of my rounds, right? In between every Beautiful Bytown was a Needle Light. And I was trying to keep my wits about me. Now, I guess it was only 1 pint ahead of you. I arrived a little before you. Andy and I recorded a little something for the day. But, yeah, you're almost fighting it off a little bit. Like, I know what this is. There was a lot of people who came, and we had got tokens for them to have one of ours and then have whatever you want after that. But you got to, like, if you're driving, know ahead of time. And so some people did just take the half of the Beautiful Bytown, like a half pint.
Split it between friends.
Sure.
Yep.
You do what you got to do, right?
Which reminds me, and I have a hat.
I know. And I keep forgetting to be like, don't you have a...
I have a hat.
Yeah. That's all it was. I thought there was one
Yeah.
missing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
In pristine condition.
Yeah.
Not crushed by anything. Not under a backpack or set of shoes.
Right.
So whatever you have in mind with that, there's a black TCA 10th anniversary hat.
Okay.
Also with the beers I want to throw up in the top of the fridge.
Yep.
Got a couple of those too kicking around. But
Yeah, for the guest fridge.
yeah. So this is nice. This is nice. Although it's something again about the high alcohol. It seems to the temperature seems to it never gets quite as cold the more alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I can see that.
it's good so far.
We dropped it Thursday afternoon. We also had a chat with our buddy Ian from Whippersnapper Brewing Company.
You were talking about. I was just wondering. Seasonally, I gotta stop in and see Ian. See what he's
and
got
he
cooking
did
there.
leave 1 or 2 things here for you specifically, but I hadn't yet got them all sorted out this week, so that'll be waiting there for you when you come next week. We'll talk about that,
or maybe the week after.
Sure. And we had a great conversation with him about the whole craft beer scene right now. What they've got going on, a couple of events coming up. They have a haunted prom right before Halloween. You could check out some brilliant new beers, including the Juicy Rebound, which features.
Oh yeah,
And-
high school.
Well, this features for the start of the hockey season, and he's suggesting.
He's going in a different direction.
Well, I said when he told us on the show it was called Juicy Rebound, I said, is the marriage okay, or is this about you being out on the... And he's like, no, things are good at home. But it does feature what could be mistaken, because he's looking to avoid copyright issues and being sued and whatever.
Yeah.
What could be an Ottawa hockey player wearing the number 7 on the can. Some pretty cool
Yes.
art there.
Yes.
But it could be anybody else, too. Who knows what team it might be. And lighting up someone in a generic blue jersey.
Could be any team.
It could be any team, man. This is it. So that's out now for the start of hockey season. Also, a couple of really cool things they've got going on in terms of pints that are available leading into Halloween. There's one called Candy Hops, which looks pretty nice. There was a coconut dark beer that I quite enjoyed.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he knew who he was bringing that to. So lots of good stuff available at the Whippersnapper Brewery right now. That episode dropped on Thursday afternoon. It's available now at tallcanaudio.com or wherever you're hearing us. The reason I brought it up, aside from suggesting you all go back and check that one out if you missed it, was he was talking, I think this was one of the things that made the episode interesting, about the logistics for breweries in getting involved with these local craft beer festivals. And I had talked to you that I'd gone over to the Canada Craft Beer Festival there in late September. And the turnout wasn't great. And they ended up collapsing the barrier between the afternoon and evening session. They didn't force
Not
people
for people
out.
kicking it over.
No. Stumbling over it on their way.
Go get.
It was just, there's not enough people here that we need to force everybody to leave to allow the evening crowd in. And he basically said as much on the show that it was tough for the breweries, right? You have to dedicate people to come and run it and product to be there. And in this case, it didn't really work. And he said they have had good success at the Orleans craft brewery festival, craft beer festival. And this was run by the same people. And he said it was in North Canada, so you're sort of away from a lot of people.
Yeah. In the high-tech area.
And it was just in some parking lot. And he goes, that part isn't as big of a deal if you're in a better area. But it didn't really work. And it was just interesting to hear his take on, it costs us money to do this.
Right.
And we were able to essentially, when that party turned out to be a bust, push some people back to the brewery that night on Saturday for a bit of a party. But otherwise, not a great success. He goes, you like to see it. It's worth a shot, but this one didn't work. And he doesn't know whether he would be bothered to do it again next year.
Well, and that is the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Is when you show up there, you don't want to suck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the first exposure people have had, and they're like, oh, it's this whippersnapper business.
Right.
And you're like, okay, you've ran out of this or you've ran out of that.
Yep.
You don't have everything you want. But yeah, there's a cost you've sunk into doing this, and you're hoping that it parlays into future business.
When he said in this case, the number of breweries and distilleries and wineries, like it turned out pretty well. Because when you have a small crowd and a huge number of, not everybody even gets to you, right? Like not everybody even tries you, or it's hard to be memorable when, I tried 6 or 8 different things and there might be 22 different stands. Maybe they don't even get to you. So it was interesting to hear his take, and he seemed to have appreciation for the people who gave it a shot and likes the job they do over in Orleans. But he goes, now what do you do, right? Do you double down next year and hope, okay, we learn some lessons and try and get better, or was it just not worth it and you don't do it again? So we'll see.
And that is the thing, because it's almost like it's defeated now moving forward, right? And again, this isn't up to Ian to make this work. I'm just saying, if you have breweries go, maybe people just didn't hear enough about it the first time, and like any kind of first annual thing, you'd sort of go, we'll see.
Yep.
But
Sens in Quebec City. This stunk. Nobody liked it. Didn't work out for anybody. Do you double down? You got to give it time to build, or do you go, this was such a lost cause that it's not worth it, right? These are conversations that...
I don't go back.
I'm with you on that, but these are the types of the comparable conversations.
But I'm encouraging Ian to come back. just down the road. I understand, but don't put it in Canada North. And that's not, again, that's not, I'm not pointing
I understand.
At Ian.
That was his advice as well.
It is,
be somewhere more central.
This is it. Yeah. I'd go close to a farm boy of some variety, because that's where people seem to flock to.
Last night, Saturday night,
and I like the way you move.
Little pretty baby.
Yeah,
little baby.
Mitsu?
I don't know. It was on Dance Mix 93, I believe. That's all I got for you.
10-year-old Matt.
Loving it, man.
Fist over his head, pumping. Yeah.
John Tavares.
Johnny Hockey.
Becomes the... I don't think anybody gets that. He's Johnny Toronto. I think Johnny Hockey
I hate
is...
that. Sucks.
Became the 4th player in NHL history to score 500 points with 2 different teams.
4th?
4th player to score 500 points with 2 different NHL teams. I think.
Are you going to ask me to?
I am going to ask you whether you'd like to take a stab at the other 3. I think it's going to be when you actually give this a second there for the hamster to get warmed up and get out from under the 8%. Or 10% that's being thrown on top of him. I think you'll get there. 3 other guys have scored 500 points with 2 different NHL
So
teams.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yes, Wayne Gretzky is one.
How about Mark Messier?
Mark Messier is the another.
So I'm missing one guy.
You are missing one guy.
In order to keep this short, what decade are we talking?
90s, mostly.
Is it Jaromir Jagr?
No. He bounced around too much later.
Yeah, no, that was my first thought.
Yeah, like probably 500 with the Penguins, then like 150.
Is it Brett Hull?
No. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that you're
Ron Francis.
It is Ron Francis.
Oh, Hartford Whalers.
And it
Shout out
threw me
Whalers.
too because it sort of happened in chapters, right? Started with Hartford, went to Pittsburgh, goes back to Carolina, which is the same franchise, finishes his career there.
That sucks, though.
Well, it still counts.
I know. This whole Atlanta, Winnipeg.
But I don't believe he had the
Phoenix.
full 500 in Hartford before he went to Pittsburgh. I think it got tacked on.
He was good in Hartford,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
He
But
was
I don't
good.
think he was there long enough. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But anyway, so those are your guys. And John Tavares is the other one. It's interesting.
It's good company.
It is good company.
Yes.
I don't know that I would have expected it. And look, it's just circumstance. When do you move from team to team? The
fact that he did it at 28 or 29.
This is it. I was sort of surprised that he had it with the Islanders. And then when you talk about the Toronto one, you're like, well, he's into his 8th year now with the Leafs.
Yeah.
You're like, I guess that makes sense.
That was a surprising part for me. Was
the second one.
Was just that he had got enough. Like he was in New York for 10 years.
Yep. Just shy. Yeah.
Yeah, so 50 points a year. He's eclipsing that easily.
Yep. No, and that's fair enough. The other thing we sort of heard on the same night, we'll stay on the Leafs here because
I love it, man. Let's do it.
Anthony Stolarz had some words about his team. I don't know if you caught it after hockey night.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Although I did come back to it to see Vegas put a ass beating on Calgary. But I somehow missed.
Well, I sort of was like, all right, got to take a break here from Jays and Mariners.
Sadness.
This has been stressful.
Sadness.
What do you got for me tonight, hockey night? Toronto and Seattle. Refreshing. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, and we lose in disappointing fashion again. Thank you. Late. Yeah, this is good.
Late, eh? And it sucks.
It was pretty late.
I know.
Overtime.
I'm just saying, the tires just get deflated. Come on.
We got a point.
Yeah.
Anthony Stolarz comes out afterwards, and I don't have the exact quotes here. If I've had time after the show, maybe I've gone back, found the audio, and dropped it in for you here, good listener.
Which means it's happened.
Don't put that kind of pressure on.
It's happened. Matt is gorgeous at this. It's true. It's a thing he does.
So
it was a good third period, but first 2 periods, we kind of let them walk all over us, and we just didn't play our game. They outworked us in front of the net. They blocked shots. They beat us up and down the ice, and the score was indicative of that. They just outworked us, plain and simple. It's just playing hard. Maybe we can take a page out of their book and start getting to the net. For us, it's we like to go low to high and shoot, but it's for their goal. It's like playing catch in the yard. You're seeing everything, and we're not making it difficult. We made it difficult in the third, and look what happened. We came out, tied the game, got a point out of it, almost scored with 5 seconds left, but it's a little too late. And I think, even though we're 6 games into the season, it's, enough's enough, and we kind of got to start picking it up here. A lot of the guys have been here for a while, Overtime, you can't let someone beat you up the ice there, and, gets a clear-cut breakaway. Minute left, you want to be on the ice in that situation, you got to work hard, got to work back, and it cost us a point there. So, at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's early. We do have, some time to gel, but at the end of the day too, it's more or less just about working hard, and when we work hard, the results come. You saw it in the third period, and we can't play for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We got to do it for a complete 60. It's just overall. how many points are we going to leave out there? Being here last year and, seeing the team we had and seeing how far we were able to go and the potential. Like, the potential's there. Like, we have the skill, we have the grit, we have the grind. And, it's just frustrating that, we just can't put it together right now.
He comes out.
D.
Yep. All right. So he comes out after the game and essentially says, we're not trying hard enough. Because for 2 periods, they sort of took it to us, outworked us. In overtime, he goes, there's some guys who've been here for a while. In overtime, last minute, you've got to have a better effort because Seattle had essentially grabbed a breakaway in overtime to win the game. And he sort of said, we have enough grit and enough talent, but we're not doing anything, and it hasn't been good enough. And the reason I bring this up, I tend to be of the belief that for any team, less than 2 weeks into the season is not a time to panic. But I do wonder what your take is on a goalie talking about we need to work harder or that we're letting them walk all over us. Like, you are sort of commenting on the he's saying we all the time, but you're clearly talking about things that aren't you
in your
related, right? And he's clearly talking about Nylander on the breakaway and overtime thing that you didn't get back hard. But 3-on-3 is what it is. But Willie has had that criticism levied at him before.
You mean Nylander of the 3rd or 4th overall in scoring right at this moment?
Yep.
But take the good with the bad, mother.
Second leading goal scorer last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just wonder what your take is, and if you have one at all, on it being the goalie who's calling everyone out on the part of the game that he's not playing.
I always have a take.
Okay. This I know.
Yeah, and the first one is, the last one was a Toronto goalie, your good buddy Sparky.
Oh.
Happened right here in Ottawa in his St. Patrick's Day uniform. You remember that?
No, but I might have been at that game.
Yeah,
I did go to a Leafs game.
He
up here
came
in
out after Ottawa
jersey.
beat Toronto wearing the St. Patty's Day unis.
Yeah, I have one of those.
And Sparky was out there saying, "We don't have enough sack. We got to work harder. We got all these things that you." Matt's going to make this. Matt's going to make this connection.
Nope. No recollection of almost anything.
And then it was like a week later, and Sparky was gone.
And Sparky is not Stolarz, but it is reasonable to draw that line.
And so, but to me, it's a goalie and a goalie.
Yeah.
And now one of those two goalies didn't just sign a 4-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it is.
And we did see Stolarz earlier that night. Again, you wouldn't have seen this, but somebody's just running over him.
I saw it.
And Brendan Carlo.
It was Marchment.
Yeah, and Brendan Carlo is just standing there. And so then there becomes this debate on Leafs Twitter, like, what's worse, burying a guy on top of your goalie or just standing there and doing nothing? And arguably doing nothing is way worse, right? Like,
I was going to say,
could you give a shit? Like,
Stolarz actually threw more punches than any other Leaf on
and that's not for
the
the first time. Like, he took a shot at, well, he's done it a few times, but obviously the one everyone remembers is Ridley Gregg in the playoffs last year, where he just sort of buried him with a shoulder tackle.
Well, and that was after the heavy whacks with the slashes with the stick.
But obviously Stolarz is sort of not a guy shying away from frustration or, whatever you'd want to call it. But
see, that was the first Toronto game I'd watched this year.
Oh, because Sens were afternoon game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was in and out of it.
Yeah.
And there's bad hockey happening all over the place. And I was like, oh, that's right, Carlo is a Toronto Maple Leaf. It's somehow, I'm like, I know he was a trade deadline.
Yep.
And you're like, you forget that he is. I forgot that he was. So to me, I think it's fine when you've sunk money into that guy. He is there. The difference between him and Sparks, I'm just saying, one's an AHL guy who's up and down, who's feeling his.
You're here for a minute. You haven't accomplished anything.
You don't get
yet.
to say shit.
But a goalie in general can, with the right reputation.
100%.
Okay.
If it's Luongo or if it's Berger. Yeah. And I'm not saying Stolarz at this moment is either one of those guys.
But he's part of the group now. He's established here.
They have judged by his play last year and his importance to the success of the team has already been established before this season. And it had to do with all the panic with losing him last year, right? And so that gives him a little bit more cred.
I wonder if it does. Like, I think it does in the room. I don't know how I'd feel if I'm, one of the forwards. And how about you just tend
Stop
the
the puck.
goal there, pal, and leave the rest of it to us? I don't know. Anytime you do it publicly, because he's doing it in that way that we all know you're supposed to. We aren't doing enough. And when any forward or any defender says that, you go, okay, we as the group. You're the goalie. We know you don't mean we right here, right? Like, these other guys out in front of me aren't doing what I think they should be doing.
Do you agree with what he said?
I do.
Well,
mostly. They're not good. Like, they started. So after game 1 on night 1 against Montreal,
beat Montreal.
They were starting a stretch of 13 out of 14 games against non-playoff teams, 10 of them at home. And they are 2-2-1 so far in those games. Now, I just said a few minutes ago,
I'm envious.
I don't think that this is the time to panic, but that is a schedule that suggests you need to make hay right now, and they're not doing it.
The sun is shining.
Right. And look, as you've pointed out, there's bad hockey happening all over the place right now. In a lot of cases, it still looks like preseason hockey.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the schedule you have right now, the opponents you have right now. And so there would be some frustration setting in. I'm just not sure if the goalie is the guy who gets to say it. And maybe I'm nitpicking, because I do agree it hasn't been good enough.
Right. I'm just saying, if the fans are feeling it, and if anybody has their nose at a joint, because Toronto has made changes to this roster.
Oh, yeah.
By choice and by not. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But you brought in guys like Nick Roy.
Yep.
And you brought in
Dakota Joshua.
Dakota Joshua. I was going to call him Joshua Dakota. But you have made these changes that you are going to become a slightly less talented, but you are going to become harder to play against. And so I don't think it's wrong to go, what he said was right, and go, but you're on the team, but you don't get to say that.
Yeah.
Now, because how many times have you heard a coach say, we could have used the save there?
Well, and so it was only like 2 games ago that the coach did come out and say essentially the same thing. Not enough. We need guys to be working harder. And again, in the first 2 weeks, it's a long year, man. Like, I think you got to pick your spots a bit.
When you play that card.
He played it already.
Yep.
And now your goalie's doing it. I wonder in Toronto.
2 different questions though, right?
Yep. Well, the coach gets to do it whenever he wants. But
right. No, but even as a player, the question is, should the goalie have the right to say it?
Right.
Is one thing, and I believe he should.
Yeah.
The second one is, should he play it 5 games into the season?
Yeah.
Because I think that is different, right? Because there is honestly, I watched that Leaf game, and when it got tied, so I'm just like,
sloppy hockey.
After watching the Ottawa game in the afternoon, which was shite, and then I watched that, and I'm like, and my sails weren't filled with enthusiasm with Calgary, getting the performance they had at home, and you're like, there's just, and that was the thing. I walked away going, there's shitty hockey happening everywhere.
Yep.
Doesn't help me, but it's not good to watch either.
No.
And so the NHL moving forward, if you're going to less preseason games, teams better get their shit together, because
even this year it looks like preseason hockey here, still 10 days into the season or whatever we are, 11
and
days.
some teams are making hay.
Yep.
Look at your Detroits, these sorts of teams, and you go,
same thing we talked about the Jays early in the year. Grab the wins now. You don't have to give them back later. Like, if you go off a cliff, you've got that in your back pocket.
Whether you think Detroit is gonna stay ahead of Boston, whatever.
Yep.
These teams are gonna stay ahead of Ottawa and Toronto. That's one thing, but you can't make the playoffs in October, somebody just said.
Yeah.
But you can miss the playoffs in October. And so I think Stolarz has the right to say it. I maybe wouldn't have said it on October
19th or whatever
18th.
it was. Yeah. So in Toronto, the issue seems to be that the rest of the team isn't playing up to standard, but the goaltending has been pretty good. In Ottawa, there's major questions around the goaltending so far, and I'll leave it up to you to define what you think of everybody else. I've been honest on the show the last week or two. I've hardly seen much hockey. Like, I'm choosing Blue Jays every time.
Yep.
Over the Leafs, over the Sens, over whatever else. But there has been some talk that Merlanen hasn't been good enough. There was some frustration about Ullmark again. He's sort of been up and down, is the takeaway I'm getting. Where are we at right now on the goaltending specifically that the Sens are getting?
Well, it's hard. It's hard. So, neither of the two goalies. Like, Merlanen had a bad preseason, and then his one game in the regular season, which was against Buffalo, you allowed 7 goals. It doesn't matter. Like, and nothing else matters. You have allowed, in 6 games, you've allowed 30 goals.
Phew.
That is, for those of you who aren't great at math, that's a smooth 5 per game.
That's not enough. That's not good.
That is not good. That is not good.
Even when Pinto's lighting up the league, he can't
first
keep
in
up
goal
from that.
scoring
Yeah.
as of Sunday morning, 7.
Yeah.
And so that's a stat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stat. When as a team you have a 5.00
GAA.
goals against. Like, that is atrocious.
Yes.
And I think Merlanen could be better, clearly.
Yeah.
To me, the team in front of him, it is sloppy. It is loose. And that's the stool I had this morning, too.
It's a lot of Sundays.
Yeah. And disorganized. Like, just.
Would you look at
And the PK, fucking terrible.
the PK has been awful, and a lot of people are talking about that too. On Merlanen, would you briefly, like, is it a question of, and I don't know what Ottawa's schedule is this week, but if you...
Well, they have Edmonton coming in on Tuesday.
So no problem there.
That can only go well.
But in terms of back-to-backs, like if you know you're about to give Ullmark 3 in a row, would you send Merlanen down, let him play in Belleville, and have Sogard sit on the bench as the backup, and see if you can get Merlanen's feet underneath him, like with some starts?
I don't have the exact schedule,
Yeah.
but there isn't a back-to-back this week.
Right.
At least until...
So would you consider that?
I would have considered it after the last one.
Right.
Because if you had the opportunity for the weekend, you send Merlanen down, you bring Sogard up, or you even bring up the other guy, Hunter Shepard,
Sure.
who is, I don't know who that guy is.
He's the Phoenix Copley of this year.
100%.
Just made
but
up names.
I saw him in one preseason
I know he's
game,
a real guy.
and I saw him stop a breakaway, and I'm like, you know what?
Get in there, Shep.
And the thing is, you let Ullmark have this run,
Yeah.
and you let Merlanen go down there. You let the goaltender coach work with him.
Yeah.
I would have done that. I think Creech brought it up on TSN 1200 late last week. They were talking about that, and I endorse that totally. But at this point, if you can work with it here, like, I'm not willing to cut bait on him.
No.
With as good as, and he's been good everywhere, and he was good here last year.
But it's going to be hard for him to get that confidence back sitting on the bench playing once every 4 or 5 games or whatever.
For sure. But the thing is, he needs to get both goalies. Like, Ullmark yesterday allowed 5 goals. And other than the fifth one, the game-winning goal, sadly, most crucial, the other 4, I don't blame him. It's loose, all kinds of breakaways, 2-on-1s, like the shit that's being allowed in front of you.
Well, and so speaking of when you can play certain cards, Travis Green was pretty hard on his group after that Saturday game, saying there are things that we took pride in doing last year that we're not doing.
Yeah, I
this
heard
year.
that, yeah.
And that's harsh this early, but it's not incorrect.
Well, everybody was concerned. Okay, that defensive play, dropping the goals against, all that last year, perfect.
Yep.
We've got that. That is now dyed in the wool, right in our DNA.
Yeah, this is what we do.
We're going to work off of that to improve our 5-on-5 goal scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, whatever they've done has not allowed them to continue what was supposed to be the bedrock. Like, to me, it's like they are 3 years ago cheating for offense again. And it's leaving you in bad position, not knowing what your assignments are, coming back into the defensive zone. Like, it just seems like some of those really sort of...
Is it as simple as what we talked about with Toronto, where it's just more preseason nonsense? Guys aren't taking it serious yet? Or
But I am like you.
Yeah.
I'm looking around going at 2-4, and you have Edmonton coming in, who lost to New Jersey.
Yeah.
and they're coming in after
Shout out Connor Brown.
giving up 5, but they have always just west of downtown Connor Brown.
West of town, Connor Brown.
It's you look at Edmonton in their 4 or 5 games, they've only scored 13 goals, but they've only allowed 15. Like, to me, they're losing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a sub 500, I believe, but they're not crazy out of whack.
Right.
And they're coming in, and McDavid and Draisaitl have owned the Senators for the last, in the McDavid era.
Right.
Owned, like, unbelievable.
Owns the
Like,
Chiefs.
who owns? Like 3 points a game on average between both of those guys. It's crazy.
Tough to overcome.
And the Ottawa's playing the way they are, running around like Keystone Cops. And now you have McDavid and Draisaitl. And now again, they're not hitting on all cylinders.
No.
But guess what? Who needs a slump buster? Right? And right now, it appears like Ottawa is prime for that Edmonton slump buster. Because to me, they are just, I hope so.
Be the Edmonton.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the navel gazing at this point, 6 games in, you're like, yeah, it's early. It's early. Sure, it's early. But man, they're not looking good.
Well, so
And you lost your captain.
this
for
is
the
it.
next
I was just
25
going to
games.
bring up the captain is gone for what sounds like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8, but that means 8.
Well, they always put. It feels like over the last couple of years, teams put the worst case scenario out, and now your guy gets to look like a hero when he beats
Champ!
and that's fair enough. So, but we are talking at least a month and a half for Brady being out, and I'm sort of curious. Is there how you'd set this up? Stützle has taken some criticism, and like I saw a tweet on Saturday that, look, when Stützle gets to play with, talented wingers, he actually performs. And the other side of that coin is, hey, you need to drive a line now, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to show that you might be the guy. I'm sort of curious what you've seen since Brady's gone down in terms of the ability to not need him to drag you into the fight. Like, is that element? I don't think you're ever going to find that one guy who replaces Brady's ability to do it. But how is this group going to adjust their style? Should they adjust their style? What's going to have to be different while he's gone, and who should Timmy Stu be playing with to make it happen?
Well, first and foremost, this team is more than a Brady Tkachuk away from being better. Just the way they played, the way they played with him
Sure.
in the first 3 games in the lineup. Not great, like to me, in terms of attention to detail.
Right.
So that's one thing, right? To go, oh, we've lost Brady. Well, you fucking weren't playing great when you had him
Yeah.
in the lineup. So
Yeah, you don't
that's-
get to grab hold and say, "What
this
was
is
me?"
it.
Right,
Well,
yeah,
exactly, because this wasn't looking good before that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Zetterlund started Saturday's game on the 4th line.
Yeah.
That's a guy you just signed to
He hadn't been good, and I was high on that. When they brought him in,
yeah.
he's not been good.
no. And so one shot on Saturday again, up and down. And the one question, the whispers in the back before that contract was signed was, what's the hockey IQ like?
Yep.
Right? Does he get to the right spots? Great shot.
Yep.
Good speed, all those things, but you're like, is he in the good spots? Is he? And so when it comes to Stützle, which is what your original question, I
Yep.
believe, was, last year it was, okay, you need guys with speed, right? Like Timmy's entering the zone with the puck, and he's looking around. Where is everybody else? Hello? No. So I loop the net, and you do whatever, you know what I mean? It's just,
Yep.
and so it was interesting late, 3rd period of that sort of Saturday game against the,
Islanders.
thank you. They put Batherson and Dylan Cousins up on the line with him, and they clicked for 2 goals like that.
And that's where I think that tweet I referenced came from. Look, when you give him skill on each side, he can perform.
Yeah,
and that tweet wasn't meant as a burial, like he
Right.
needs to be supported. It was, look, help him more, give him something
Yeah.
to work with.
And it's skill and it's speed.
Yep.
Right? And I think that's the thing. Tkachuk has worked on his skating, and he's got to a spot where he's
Yeah, he's not slow, but he's not a burner.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And I don't think anyone's ever going to confuse him with. He's more of a will over skill guy.
Sure.
He's got some skill.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. You don't score 30-plus goals for
that's right.
4 straight years without it.
Top line.
But he
national team.
is more of a straight line, bang him in, all those things. Whereas to see Stützle with Dylan Cousins and Drake Batherson, it's good speed and skill. It's just how do you then fill out your next 3 lines? It's fine at this point when you take your top or second top point getter out of the lineup and then you put up your next 2.
And a lot of people talked about by the end of the year, would Pinto be the number 2 center anyway? Now that, in theory, would have involved him, jumping over Cousins.
Yeah,
but maybe
that didn't include moving Dylan Cousins out of the center position.
Right. But you can now, I don't think Ridley Gregg at 3C is a disaster for anybody,
No.
but you are now getting thin on the wing. Like when you start to move these pieces around, you are still going to notice the gaping hole without somebody like Brady Tkachuk. So,
and I would be totally fine if you went, let's go with Stützle with Dylan Cousins and Batherson. That is your number 1. Then you go with the Giroux, Pinto, Gregg line, take it from 3 into 2.
So Gregg goes from 3C to 2 LW or
Right. Well, then it just becomes how do you flesh out those bottom 2,
That's
right? It like to finish the game, Lars Eller went from 4C to 3C.
I think Amadio has played some center before.
Right. Those are the things is can you be a top heavy enough lineup to generate off of your first 2 lines
Right.
enough points that the bottom 2 lines are able to play 50-50 when they're out there. Not
Just
hurt
saw
you.
it off.
This is it. And I like a line with Lars Eller, David Perron. Like you just sort of work your way down. Amadio. It's what does that 4C and Nick Cousins and whoever else is down there, whether it be Kaliev or Lexa with
When they
Nick
gave
Cousins.
Kaliev, I thought it was a smart call to give Kaliev a look,
A shooter.
up high, right?
Yeah.
Like we're bringing him up. We know we need to. We have this conversation all the time. Don't bring up a skill guy from the minors and put him on the 4th line. So it was worth a look up high. It didn't appear to work. Travis Green didn't appear to love it, but that was worth a shot, right? It's
Right.
But
I don't want to see Michael
right now.
Amadio on the top line either, though.
No.
Right? Like you can say what he did in
Like, and it
Vegas.
sounds like what it sounds like. I'll take Kaliev on my top line for a game over Amadio as well. And it didn't work either, but the skill says.
And ultimately, you're hoping Zetterlund
Yeah.
is
It's just-
that guy. But he hasn't shown. in
No,
his-
and even then, like when I liked the acquisition, I wasn't sure put him on your top line. I just thought that's a nice piece who's probably going to score 20 to 22 a year, 23 a year, whatever it might be.
Right.
And your middle 6, that's nice. When you have to rely on that guy, maybe that is now where you see the warts that San Jose must have seen and go, that's too much, right? And so,
yeah.
but again, that was worth a shot when Brady goes down and suddenly you're desperate, not desperate, but you're trying to find something,
And
right?
so to me, this is what it becomes. Are you comfortable until Brady comes back in December?
What does comfortable mean? 500? Like,
Yeah, it means you can't lose touch with the pack.
yeah.
That's what it means. Because right now they are second last in the Eastern Conference.
Well, I think Montreal's off to a nice Boston, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Detroit
Yeah,
off to a good start.
Right now, and now Boston has just fallen out.
They've taken 2 wins off of us. So
Buffalo actually, after losing the first 3 games, I think has gone 4 straight wins, 2 straight wins. Anyways, it just comes down to 2 straight wins. Sorry.
yeah, let's not go crazy. It's Buffalo.
No, it was what I was thinking about was they beat Florida,
yes,
who won their
just on
first
Saturday.
3,
Yeah,
and then have lost 4 in a row.
right.
So that's where I was going with that.
How many times have we talked about this division this year? It's going to be mushy, man. It's just going to be.
But you can't
all the
lose
way.
touch with the pack, and that is what it is. And so I'm okay with if they need to go heavy on the top 2 lines, survive with the bottom 2, and if you have enough vet presence on the bottom with Giroux, Eller, and not Giroux, with Perron and Eller,
Nick Cousins has been around.
Cousins, Amadio, like
Yep.
if you can skate on the bottom 6,
Yeah.
and move forward. But the D needs to be better too, man. Like honest to God, it's
Well, you've already seen those pairs get juggled a couple of times.
Well, he saw, and the idea of putting Spence out with Sanderson when you're looking for a little offense, and Anders Lee just leaned on him, out-muscled Spence to get to the net, and that's the one you hope Ullmark makes that save.
Right.
But it really comes from Spence not being big enough and a big man just, excuse me, coming through.
Right.
And
these are always the types of conversations you have with a guy like Jordan Spence, at least thus far, that's like, you look really good on a third pair. But when we put you up with Jake Sanderson and ask you to take some of the heavier assignments, maybe that's not going to ever be you, right? Maybe not ever, but for now.
Well, and the flip side is you're asking Sanderson in those moments because Sanderson is the better two-way of those two guys. You're asking Sanderson to help Spence as you try to create offense.
And in that regard, not much different than Hamonic. Like, the story for so long was, look at how much support a veteran like Hamonic has been able to give a guy like Sanderson. And I think you can look at a lot of the numbers and a lot of things and go, look at Sanderson floating this fucking guy for another year, right? Like, just keeping his career alive.
Yeah. Getting him a contract in Detroit.
In Detroit with Bernard Docker.
But it comes down to, because you look at that game-winning goal by Anders Lee. Anders Lee is not muscling Matt and Paolo the same way.
No.
Matt and Paolo is
or even
not,
Zub or
yeah. But Matt and Paolo, I'm just looking at your bottom pairing right shot defenseman. He's not out there with Sanderson trying to create offense. But the bottom line is, why at 4-on-4 do you feel the need to put Spence and Sanderson out there together to create that offense?
Yeah.
You're not down.
Right.
So it is a lot of chicken and egg, but man, I think there are.
This is the fun part of the season and also the frustrating part of the season.
I'm not feeling super fun.
Well, where you are sort of looking at it all and going, I don't know what any of this means yet. There's a lot to see. Like I've seen all these games. I have some feelings. I don't know how real any of it is yet.
You're a Simpsons guy.
Oh yes, I am.
You're a Simpsons guy.
Sure
and every single episode of The Simpsons starts out with Bart writing on the wall, writing on the chalkboard, whatever it is, right?
Yep. A different I will not.
And I after about 6 o'clock Saturday afternoon, I felt like Bart, and I felt like I was writing, I will not let my sports teams affect my mental health. I will not let my sports teams affect my mental health. Like just over and over again.
What day was that again?
Saturday afternoon.
Oh, see. Should have been writing it but Friday at about 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So that's how I felt. I'm like, sports, man. Sports is supposed to be fun. And right now, I feel like, what am I doing? Why am I spending a pile of time, Matt? Not just actual game times.
They'll bring you back. It's October.
No. I'm not just talking about hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about baseball. I'm just like, fuck. This is, it feels like not good, Matt.
We're up to, I think, season 35 of The Simpsons now. And they've announced a new movie. And I think it was somewhere around season 18 or 19. Because you're right, Bart, in the theme song, writes a different thing on the chalkboard every single episode. And one of them was just like, does anyone still read these?
Yes.
After 18 episodes.
Everybody does.
Seasons.
Everybody does.
We'll take a break here because I need new beer. I want to talk a little football with you.
Are you ready for some football?
We certainly have a little more hockey to talk about. There was some news around the Olympics, which I always find interesting. And
Canada's still looking at 90 different players?
Sure.
Are they though?
I'll narrow it down later. I'll procrastinate to the very end. I don't know. Zamner. Give me Zamner.
Where's Rob Zamner at?
Pressure's on, man. We'll be back to take a look at all of that in just a moment.
Telegram.
This will get you a little closer to that dream of yours. It's not the Dallas Cowboys, but it's a start. Drop me a line if you're on the East Coast. Hank Scorpio. Oh, the Denver Broncos.
I think owning the Denver Broncos is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, explain to me why it isn't.
You just don't understand football, Marge.
All right. We dive back in here. A few different things to cover, but it always starts with a second beer because Mine's been empty for a bit. I'm thirsty. So fuck it. I'm going first this time. This is foaming over a little. Back to Beyond the Pale. The Daily Pilsner. Again, right around that 5%, right? Which is where I told you at the beginning of the show I wanted to cruise here, right? And just level off with a nice Sunday buzz leading into the Blue Jays game. So we're going to cruise here. This is not new. This is very nice as far as a Pilsner goes. A little shy on the bite that you sometimes can get out of a Pilsner, but it does still have mostly that full Pilsner flavor and mouth feel to it. So that's what we're riding with over here, man.
I've gone to Black Gold Brewing, which I believe is out of Sarnia or Petrolia.
Petrolia, I believe.
Yeah. Siri wasn't helping me with that on the
Oh, no, she's a useless
Black Gold
person.
Coffee. And I'm like, did it sound like coffee? Is that what I asked?
Has
you?
anyone in this home ever asked you about coffee?
So
Context, Siri.
So this is their Sunnyside American Ultra Light Beer.
Ultralight.
That's what it says, Matt.
Okay.
Now, it comes in at 4%.
That's
So-
not ultralight. That's just light.
Yeah.
And barely that.
Yeah.
All right. But on the back end of what you've rolled with here to start.
And again, I'll have to get another pull,
Yeah.
but the first pull tasted like shit.
Okay.
I was not. And now I've had a bunch of stuff from Black Gold. Always fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, we've both had beers out of there. They make nice stuff, but ultralight 4%.
And again, I'm now on second pull. Shit may be harsh.
Yeah. You're easing up on it a little?
Yeah, it's a big move back from the triple IPA.
Yeah, it would be.
So not as bad on the second pull.
Okay.
I just needed,
Yeah.
I just needed to sort of refresh the palate a bit.
Okay.
But it's a light beer.
Yeah.
It's what you would expect from a light beer. It's light in flavor.
And Rob immediately found that offensive.
I do. Well, if I'm drinking, I don't.
Drinking, who's coming with me?
I don't often go in for a light beer.
Rob's falling behind.
I strategically chose
To get way out in front early.
and then pedal down
Allow everybody to catch
or
up.
gear down.
Gear down.
And so to me, we'll see. We'll see. This to me it's fine. It is what it is.
We'll get back to the hockey as we talk about gearing down or being out in front. The CFL announced this week their pregame performer and their halftime show. Did this land on your radar at all?
No, zero. So
This is how far the CFL has fallen on this show at this point. I've had this conversation with Bunda last week when he was in here. You and I have had it. I'm not even flipping the channel at this point to watch what went down on Saturday.
1 second.
Sounds like they were embarrassed again. Anyway, for the CFL, and this becomes a conversation every year, the halftime show will be Machine Gun Kelly.
nice.
Is Rob familiar at all with MGK?
Of course.
And the pregame show is Our Lady Peace. So we do still have the CanCon. A little past their prime. But as far as a Canadian act, it has a name. I don't remember, to be honest with
Where
you.
is the Grey Cup this year?
Winnipeg. I've keep getting emails from the Red Blacks and stuff because I've bought tickets over the last couple of years. Where like, hey, enter here to win a trip to Winnipeg. And you're like, who are you trying to sell? Now, a Grey Cup in Winnipeg, I would do, but it's always just funny to see the subject
Late
line. It says,
November in Winnipeg.
yeah, hey, win a trip to November Winnipeg. You're like, nah.
Yeah. I've done March Winnipeg and it kind of blows.
So, but this is one of those things. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but I have some MGK in my library.
He's married to Fox.
or at least was.
Come on, man. They were forever. They got tattoos in their blood.
Oh, I can't believe tattoos didn't make it forever. That always works. Not Alicia.
No, it's
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Yeah. I don't know that they're still together. This is, as you know,
That would
the
be tragic,
tabloid
Matt.
stuff,
That
a
would be
little
tragic.
outside my...
It's outside mine, but my way better half.
people love a
If I
little
knew this, Matt, I would have
entertainment
asked
tonight.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
went from kind of being, I think like one or two rap songs, and then he had this kind of transition into almost like pop punk, and I was like, we can talk now, man. Like,
Right.
I got time for your...
He was on a little local alternative radio with one of his songs, and now he's gone. Is he not gone country?
He did one song at least. It's a with what's his name there, Butterball or Butter Roll,
Yeah.
something roll,
Yeah.
Jelly Roll,
Jelly Roll. They went on tour together.
Yes.
Those two guys are, like, to me, he released a country album.
But so Jelly Roll is also sort of like a country style rapper.
I like his voice. I like Jelly Roll's
He was
voice.
at SummerSlam this year.
It's got a little gravel to it.
Wrestled in a match. Lost like 300 pounds or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that does to your name, but they did a cover, not a cover.
Still Jelly Roll-ish. So I don't know what he
They
started
did a song
at, but-
together called, he was well over 500 pounds. Yeah.
Well, I'd say well over because it looks like he's
Still. He's a big
well,
boy still.
well over two still.
Yeah, okay. Man,
Yeah, I know. I know.
somebody, you lose 300 pounds, like you're still fat. I've lost more than half my body weight. What do you want from me?
It does seem harsh, Matt. It does seem harsh.
But he, Jelly
Keep
Roll,
going, fat fuck.
and MGK. This is Rob as a personal trainer
Sorry about
walking around the local YMCA.
You're not quite there, my man.
MGK and Jelly Roll did not a cover, but like a rap version of Country Roads.
Take me home.
It's called Lonely Roads. And so it's more of kind of half rapped, but countryed up a little bit. But MGK, yeah, did move into being kind of pop punkish.
Country.
He's doing a lot of things. He's trying a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I think I have one or two rap songs. I think one of them is the diss track he threw at Eminem
Way back.
like 6 years ago or
Yeah.
something like that. And I think that might be half of why he left rap was Marshall buried him in response. Like,
Yeah, good luck with that.
that sort of come at the king, don't miss sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I do have probably 5 or 6 of the songs he's done with a band, and they're fine. Like, he's not like my favorite guy, but this is the conversation you and I have to have all the time now. It's not for the football fan, right? It's not for...
Right.
Now,
It's
this is
eyeballs to the game.
this is closer than maybe most acts would be, right? Like, I think this is still mostly men, just younger men than you and I. I don't know. Who was the country guy a few years back? The Australian, Keith Urban. And he put on a decent show, but that was in, again, a Western Canadian
Yep.
CFL
Yeah,
Grey
yeah.
Cup. And it wasn't embarrassing until he sat in the booth with Chris Cuthbert and Suter there. Glenn Suter, and you understood all of a sudden that Keith Urban knows nothing about the CFL. And why would you expect him to? But
I
like,
understand he smells like hot chocolate and cinnamon, though. I understand he smells very good.
inside information here on TCA.
And as a younger man, still a young man, I love Nicole Kidman.
Oh man, who didn't?
Now she's got some
Slash
weird
doesn't.
between the eyes, nose thing going
Was she
on.
the one? No, I used to know this off the top of my. No, it wasn't her. That was Catwoman in Batman Returns.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yes. Like
That's that white
Michelle
gold.
Pfeiffer a lot.
It's that white gold.
Anyway, MGK for the
I
CFL.
took a turn there. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, we need to pump the brakes on.
Matt needed to.
Yeah.
Just Matt.
Yep.
Yeah,
We all like Michelle Pfeiffer.
sure do.
We'll see if she can be Grey Cup halftime show.
Halftime
next
show with the Arkels.
It would almost have. But this feels like a good get for the CFL.
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah.
But he seems off the radar for a couple years. Like, I know
He's not still in his prime, or, at whatever his biggest would have been. I think we are probably past that. And maybe there'll be a rebound. You're not getting him at his
See, now where
hottest.
do you stand? Last year was the Jonas Brothers.
Again, that to me, they're further beyond their prime than
They're
MGK
touring
is.
right now, and I see.
Yeah, but
I
at
see.
Casino Rama or
No. One of the Jonas Brothers is on The Voice,
Okay.
not as a coach, but as a mentor. Like they're
it
out
goes
there.
through its phases, right? Like we had Bieber at one point at literally the height of his. Now he's a Canadian.
Saw the Black Eyed Peas
Yeah.
also in the height of their. They did a great.
There have been other ones where you're like, meh. There was a girl, whatever, a couple of years ago who I knew nothing about, which again doesn't mean anything. But I didn't know one song, didn't know her name going into it. I can't remember who it was. Now we're talking like 22 maybe. Or
Okay, but who's the brother sister country act? They used to do the Friday night.
Oh, yeah. That was played constantly.
Right.
Thursday night football.
I was going to call them the Raconteurs,
It's
but they're
something
not.
like that, though. It's the... No.
That's a Jack White band, the Raconteurs. But it's like they were a family name. They're called themselves the...
Yeah, don't
Anyways.
have it. Lots of people listening, screaming at the radio. But it was the
Again,
theme song for
she was
Thursday
kinda
night
hot. I'm not sure if they
football
were brother
or
and sister,
Friday night
but-
football or whatever, yeah. And they were on everything for a little while. They were also the World Junior.
Yes.
And you're like, enough. Like, I don't know what deal, corporate
With the devil, you've signed.
synergy has been achieved here, but enough with those people.
The R family.
I can't remember. It's like, I keep wanting to... I don't have it. I don't have it.
And it's not that important.
No.
But they were the pre or the halftime.
Yep.
In Edmonton, I think it was when. So I just
So with the disaster that the Red Black season has been,
Yep.
what percentage of the CFL playoffs, knowing your team won't be in it, will you take on? Or are you out until the Grey Cup? Or is even the Grey Cup going to be off the radar for you now?
Well, in terms of the playoffs, if I carry the 1 and 0,
Hey, see, they're killing people, man.
they are killing people, and so it's pushed it right off my radar. And again,
Now they have moved most playoff games to Saturday to avoid the NFL. Like, I think if I'm not doing anything, if I'm around, I would put on the East or West final.
this is
The Grey Cup I won't miss. I always watch at least some of the Grey Cup.
and I will watch that's why I separated.
Yeah.
To me, this is entirely has to do with the local franchise.
Yeah.
And again, I think the local franchise is working hard.
What are you basing that on?
Well, just to me, I look at all of the preseason, how I felt in late May about where this franchise was and the additions they'd made with Eugene Lewis and they brought in Steinbach and all these things, right? And you're going to have a full season with your quarterback and everything was going to be good.
Yeah.
But Dave Naylor, experts were prognosticating
I'm
that
with
this
you.
team had
it was
made
going to be good. I'm just
good
now viewing
decisions.
those predictions from now the comfort of October.
Yeah. Hindsight is a bitch.
It's
And so it does come down to the fortunes of the local franchise have really dictated my level of interest.
Yeah. But the Grey Cup
In
for
the
me
league.
will always be one of those tent post sports events of the year.
Yes, and we will turn it on.
Yep.
Oh, maybe I will. I think I'm doing something that we'll see. I may be here. I may be here on that Sunday. I have no idea. Yeah.
I can't swear you'll be here.
No, none of us can. It really comes down to
I got like a 3-hour window for you most Sundays.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
That's about all you got for me. So
No, I always say,
more Matt.
how do I get more Matt in my life? It's true. It's true. Don't condescend.
Oh, I'm the one.
Yeah, but it just comes down to, man, I think they did a lot of good things. I think they made good moves this year, and it didn't work out. It just didn't work out.
With that in mind, how deep do they have to cut? The coaching staff is gone.
100%.
Is Sean Burke gone?
No. I keep Sean Burke.
And this is it, I guess. Like, if you're
get-
saying you liked the offseason, and most of us did, you're correct, right? Like, we liked what they came to camp with. So if that's the case, you kind of are stuck saying, and again, stuck makes it sound, but you almost have to go, well, then the GM gets another shot at this.
Yeah, I think I would personally, as somebody who checked out of the motel a couple years ago, really. Even with the big season last year, they floundered in the second half, which kind of...
Yeah, the big season was a swan dive into an empty pool.
For sure, on the second half, which included 60 points allowed in the playoff game. I think you got to. The coach was a bad decision.
Everybody loves Bob. The players like Bob. Everybody respects Bob.
Players
Is
don't
Bob any good?
Perform.
It does
for
not
Bob.
suggest.
And at the end of the day, it's like any coach. You will be judged, and John Schneider is the same, right? Everyone talks about it. Players coach, players coach. Well, the only way you can judge a player's coach is by how well the players play for Bob Dice.
I'm with you. I think probably, we'll see about Rick Campbell, but probably all of the coaching staff is gone. Sean Burke will get one more crack at this. I want to come back to the hockey because we saw two different pieces of news as it pertains to the
There's
Olympic
a broadcast
hockey
journalism
tournament.
guy right there. Not news.
Yeah, say it as obnoxiously as you
Through my
possibly
nose.
can.
There's got to be nasal to it.
Oh, yeah. First of all, Gary Bettman at the governor's meeting?
Board of
or
Governors.
GM? Yeah.
Board of Governors.
Okay.
Board of Governors, Matt.
I'm bored of them too. So he came out and mentioned there was a little concern, which there has been since day one.
He's giving Ottawa back their first round pick?
I've not heard that.
No, I have not heard that either. I was just sort of...
Well, I know there's a lot of people just assuming
just
that's coming.
manifesting that.
That the arena isn't done, and there was supposed to be a test event in December.
Yes.
It's not going to be done by then either. And he's concerned that it may not be done or that it may not be up to standard for NHL players. This would also include the women's tournament, which is going to be alternating in and out of the same two venues that the men's tournament is. The IIHF responded to say there will still be a test event, but it will now be in late January. And now we're getting pretty tight.
Super tight.
To the Olympics, which begin in the middle of February. And the test event for almost any sport is mandatory. And it doesn't have to be top-end players, but you have to run an event there. This is, hey, what happens when we play 3 games a day on this one slab? And these locker rooms, and what happens when we get this many thousand people in here and it warms up? All these sorts of things have to be planned for. And if you think back even to when the NHL went into the bubble and it was Toronto and Edmonton that were the two bubble cities, those were arenas quite used to trying to run high-end hockey that had trouble standing up to 3 games a day. Right? Like it's a lot to make everything run. It did also trickle out. I don't remember if it was Gary or one of the reporters afterwards said, when this is done being built, the rink itself will actually be 4 feet short. Like, we already know that going in. Now, 4 feet doesn't...
It's huge.
In equal measures, it sounds like not a lot, but also a lot.
A lot.
Right?
Yes.
So is each team's zone going to be 2 feet shorter, or is the neutral zone
I'm telling
4
you,
feet
as somebody who has coached kids minor hockey, you get to some of these old barns where you're like, why is the neutral zone look like it's about 15 feet?
These blue lines are curved.
100%, man. And you're like, the neutral zone looks super small, and in comparison, the defensive zones look huge, right? And so when you see it, and if you are a transition team, you're looking for that neutral zone movement, or if it's behind the net, like it's in the details.
Yeah.
Which is, strangely enough, what settles gold medal games is the details.
Well, and is the blue line and the goal line going to be 2 feet closer to each other? Because even that, for your goaltender angles and things like that, like a 98 mile an hour slap shot is now a 99.5 mile an hour slap shot.
I'm a foot and a half closer to it, which, trust me, man, you don't want to be.
But I'm sort of Like, I'm struggling to... We've had this conversation before. That Olympics specifically always feel like right up until the last minute, it's not going to be ready. They're not, whether it was Brazil or Russia or... Athens for sure. I remember Chris Johnston talking just a week or two ago on his podcast, the idea that he was in Sochi about 5 days before NHL players arrived, and there were still people running around with like doors that had to be hinged on, or like still moving trucks full of furniture being moved into these villages. But this is Gary saying, we're not sending our athletes to a half-finished arena. Now, the women's tournament, as it always does, starts a few days before, so this isn't any more acceptable, but the women will be the ones who end up being the test event.
The brunt.
Yeah.
Well, and you've come to the right guy. Only because I've lived this experience. Right? And I've said that, I've told you the story before, right? I'm in Sydney in 2000, and I'm walking into the dining hall, and Juan Antonio Samaranch is coming in right behind me, and I can hear him. And they're talking about the fear that Athens will not be ready.
And that's 4 years out.
4 years out from Sydney 2000. They're already concerned, could we come back and re-host?
Leave this up.
Can we keep everything as is and rerun this event here again if we needed to?
Yeah.
And then as somebody then, fast forward 4 years later, is in Athens, and the venue I was in, the train, the light rail that went by it, didn't have stairs up to it. You had to jump 6 feet from the platform down into the gravel of the unpaved parking lot of the venue. And there's walls that are unfinished in the venue, exposed, not electricity, but the wires.
Right.
No drywall. Like, this was a get her done. Like, just, okay, guess what, man? The building is up. The floor is there.
It's in the tool, man.
Yeah, have at her.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
Is that roof going to stay up? Good. Get in there and play.
Yeah, the floor. The floor.
No, I know, but
yes.
Yeah. Is this going to collapse? No? Good.
Nope.
Go.
And that's, to me, there was so much unfinished areas in Athens everywhere. And so...
Well, so leading into this one, like the hockey tournament, it feels like this has been in the news for like a year and a half, that it started construction late. And I think Gary brought this up a year or two ago at one of his... we don't even know if there's going to be an arena done. And there's been talk that, well, maybe we would send them back to Torino, which I guess, I don't know Italian geography, but is not particularly close to Milan Cortino.
I believe it's further north.
But there is a hockey venue there. But again, has it even been used since 2006?
The dog show.
There was talk. Yeah, exactly. Would Switzerland host, as a hockey country, the hockey tournament?
Davos.
Like, all of these sorts of concerns have been there and now we're less than 6 months out, and Gary's like, hey, we don't know if there's even going to be a test event. And again, just this note that, and maybe it's nothing, like when you get to playing, for the most part, we as viewers won't notice, but the fact that the rink's going to be 4 feet shorter is just weird. Like, how did you not build your arena
to standard?
Back in the day, everybody used to talk about the Buffalo Arena had this shape and the Boston Arena had that shape, or like 100 years ago. Chicago Stadium. They all had their own little quirks. In 2025, we're building a brand new arena for the Olympic Games. Like, oh, fuck. Somebody measured wrong. 4 feet short the rink's going to be. It won't look like it on TV, but goalies will notice, right? Well, like forecheckers will notice.
And again, I'm going to go back to my experience. Test events. Which are meant to not just it was just going to be an under 18 tournament. All the physical things that you've talked about, but it also comes down to officials, off ice or off court, whatever it is, officials.
How's the clock working?
Clock, music, all the audio, all these things.
Camera positions.
Sydney, I was down there in 99, 1 year out from the games. No problems. 07. Good rock of Beijing. 1 year out from the Beijing games. We have a test event.
Yep.
No test event in 03 or 04. That was because, again, that venue was not standing.
Done. Yeah.
And so it comes down to, and when I saw Gary and Elliot Friedman sit down, that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
The look on Gary's face, you could, if you were just listening to the audio and him saying, yes, we have faith. The IHF is going to take care of this, and the IOC, they're going to handle this. But if you look at his face looked like he just sucked on a lemon. And
that's just his face.
I know, but usually he has that sort of half smiling, condescending thing going. Yeah. There was none of that. So that to me is what that tells me I need to be worried about this, because he's not condescending and half smiling.
No.
He's got this face saying, they'll get it done. They'll get it done.
Well, the cost of insuring the contracts of all these athletes, which, again, the NHL has negotiated a certain percentage of that to be handled by the IIHF and the IOC and whatever. But we've seen players go get hurt. Like just last year at the Four Nations, Charlie McAvoy, like he went down and that was it for his year. In 2014, John Tavares went down. That was his year. Like
Jamie Benn in the 2017 or 2018, whatever that World Cup was, where
2016 World Cup.
2016 World Cup.
Yeah, like
was Sagan with the crushed ankle.
Sagan, I think.
Sagan, yeah.
It's just the amount of money on the line for these teams, and if you happen to be the team whose guy gets, blown up in a corner that was 4 feet shorter than he thought it was going to be, or whatever. Yeah, they need to know that this arena is going to be functional. The ice is going to be good. Everything about it. Chris Johnston also put out a piece. I felt like it was sort of piling on. I don't know that it was any.
I'm here for it.
Benny, whether it was a real story or not, that at the Hockey Canada camp this summer, or late August when they had it, the orientation camp, they were told don't expect perfection. And he put in the headline, because you're looking to get clicks, I get it. And maybe it's not him as much as they always say the guy who writes the story is not the one who creates the headline.
He hands it off and bam.
Team Canada players were told to expect an enhanced dorm experience. And as anyone who's followed amateur sport at any level,
I'm looking for the enhanced.
Yeah, right. Enhanced. This is all it's ever been.
Yes.
And the story turns out that it was just telling these guys, and only Crosby, Doughty, and Tavares, who were at that camp, had been to an Olympics before. I said, do not expect when you get there to be at the Ritz like you will be with your NHL team, and that there will be catering perfect all over the place. You're staying at the Olympic Village in what is, I don't know what the term enhanced means, but it is a glorified dorm. And I don't know what glorified means. I don't know why I threw that in there. It's a dorm. You will have roommates, which again, I don't know what the threshold is now. It's much lower than it used to be. Like 300 NHL games, you get your own room on the road, as opposed to having roommates. No, at the Olympics, you'll have at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 roommates. I remember reading a book on the 2002 Canadian Olympic team that won the gold medal there, and Yzerman and Lemieux roomed together, and they were the only ones in a room of 2. Everyone else was in at least a room of 3 or 4, and wasn't hard to dictate seniority there, right? Lemieux as the captain, and Yzerman was probably the most experienced guy. But you're still talking your Sakic's and Prongers and Brodeurs and guys like, no, you're just jammed into a college dormitory. And they basically told these guys, look, the one quote in Johnston's piece was like, if you see a stray banana somewhere, grab it. Like, because the meals are not going to be what you expect. You're going to be at a dining hall, a cafeteria. You won't have like your team's chef making post-game steaks or whatever else might be going on. And it felt like they were trying to make this a story that the experience is going to be worse than usual, but it looked to me like this was on the back of Gary's announcement trying to get more clicks, but this is just what an Olympic Village looks like.
The reality is there are people in that village. There'll be food available to you 24/7, nonstop. Like, it's all that. Do you have to walk to it?
Yeah, you never made $5 million per year And
Yeah.
we're used to having
Yeah.
a chef and a.
I know. And all I'm saying is, suck it up, Buttercup. Because the reality is, the food, while not being.
Well, this is what John Tavares said. He was the only guy, him and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So you can tell CJ didn't venture far out of the GTA to do his
I was going to say, yeah, where did he go for these?
Tavares said to him, the food wasn't great in the village in Sochi, but it wasn't hard to find. It wasn't like you were going to go hungry. And he said your routine is thrown off because in an Olympics, you might play at 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., or 9 p.m. based on wanting to get games into prime time back in North America. But he said, as do almost every Canadian player that's ever gone, the alternative, like the USA Dream Team,
Basketball?
At every Olympics, like I think in Rio, they had a 5-star hotel somewhere. I'm trying to remember which games it was. They rented a cruise ship and stayed.
I think it's Athens, just off the port.
It probably would have been Athens.
Because the basketball venue was in the harbor.
And so, yeah, and look, I'm not trying to be an asshole about that. Those guys are 8 feet tall and little cardboard beds.
The beds do not fit.
So you do what you got to do, but not every team does that. But you've heard Crosby's and Lemieux and guys over the years say half the fun is going back to the village and talking to the curlers or the skiers or the whatever else. And so that part isn't a drawback. But Tavares, as a guy who Johnston spoke to as someone he knows as incredibly regimented, right? Like, this is what I do to for 2 weeks, it's not going to happen, right? Like, you live the life that is, but
amateur sport, and so to me, it's
which isn't them, and I think that's why this came off as a story the way that it did, because nobody's been. I don't know which other countries have guys that were there in Sochi. I'm trying to think of who's old enough to
and the
Hedman or maybe
Hedman, for sure, man. He would have been there. Carlson, like the Swedes, like everybody who's going to be there would have had somebody.
Sure.
The reality is, in terms of amateur sport, if you're in Lithuania, you're over there, you're in, and then you're 2 weeks later, you're in Spain. You can always veggies, well, carbs for sure. Carbs are always available to you. Veggies and fruit usually. It's the protein that's it's hit and miss. So.
Well, in an Olympic village, they did say, like, they'll be chicken, they'll be beef, but it won't be good. Like, it won't be.
This is all I'm saying is everywhere you go, wherever the venue is, like in Athens, you could get your moussaka. Like, and you're like, I don't really want moussaka. Thanks a lot.
There's a McDonald's.
There is, but what I am
not anymore, though.
But what I'm saying though is, in each one of those cafeterias, which are the size of a football field or bigger. Yeah. You always have fruit, yogurt, cottage cheese. You have your carbs and you have your veggies. There's salad bars. There's all those things. If you don't want to do the Szechuan counter over there, you don't have to do it.
It's a glorified mall food court.
Just with there's no Panda Express.
No, there's no brand names, but there are different options for what you can go and get.
You go in, there's an Italian area, there's an Asian cuisine area, there's an Italian.
It's just funny the way you write the story is why I brought this up. That says, if you see a banana, grab it, which makes it sound like you might starve over there.
Right.
But instead what they're saying is, look, when you get to the venue, we may not have had time to make your specific shake that your trainer back in Ottawa or Winnipeg or whatever might have made. And so just...
Oh, Del Zotto would tell you in Ottawa it's a burrito in a box.
Yes, he would. And I've never balked at anything that guy's told me.
Well, I've never balked at a burrito in a box either. You want to be, and we've talked about Crosby and all those things, the Olympics and the cachet that comes with the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And part of that is you're in the village and you're eating and you're going to the gym in the village. You're doing all those things.
And this is it. Like, this is an option. Hockey Canada could have
100% they could.
Booked whatever hotel nearby, probably the same one that the families are at. It'd be a really nice hotel. They could have done this far enough in advance, and you'd all sleep in 4-star, 5-star.
Right.
The athletes are the ones who say this is half the reason to go, is
100%.
to be in the Village.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that comes with shortcomings, but it's part of the experience.
So all of it, short of the arena itself being, but in terms of the Village,
It's also going to be shaped like a diamond.
shine like a diamond. So yes, it's we're coming at you in octagon formation.
It's a net in each corner.
Yes, no, exactly. Bring 4
We're playing
goalies.
2 games at
exactly.
once.
This is it. So no, I am. That is first world problems, and as we all know, first world problems aren't really problems.
Anything else on the hockey radar that's jumped out at you thus far? Vancouver's had a nice little start.
I'm loving Mitch Marner and Eichel and Stone in Vegas. They are killing it.
There was a thing Wednesday that some dillhole tweeted out. It's like, well, all of a sudden the Leafs can't score, and Pavel Dorofiev has 5 goals in Vegas already this season with Mitch Marner in town. And the very first reply was a capture from one of the advanced stats that showed Mitch Marner has not assisted on a single one of those Dorofiev goals.
Yeah.
It's just people trying to tell their little stories early.
But see, that person is just too much info, man. Just less. Less is sometimes more.
Be less informed? That's your take on that? That's less correct?
Social media, Matt. You think that's out of whack or you what? And you go,
Rangers?
Just don't tie Marner to Dorofiev. That's all you need to do.
Rangers are the first team in NHL history to go 3 home games to start the year without scoring a goal.
God bless them. And then beat Montreal on Saturday. Booyah!
Lose to Toronto on Thursday. Love you for that. Because not a lot of teams are doing it.
No.
Losing to Toronto.
Breaking the mold.
I don't know, man. It's early.
It is
all.
early.
It's early.
It is early, and I'm not willing to on anybody other than my own
I think
team.
Carolina was the last team without a regulation loss, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's still the same this morning. Yes.
Yeah. So, I give a shit about finding another drink and
Perfect.
having
When's
a
that
pint.
happen? Let's do it.
Yeah. No, you're leaving now. It's
Oh,
your time is up.
good, because I don't have another beer. So
Oh, then you're definitely out.
Yeah.
For Rob, my name is Matt. Thanks so much for listening. I don't know what's coming up this week, but there'll be something, presumably, and the mood of which will be determined over the next 30 hours, something like that. We'll wrap it up here. I think I already said that.
See ya.
Yep. Goodbye.
I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. That made to look like a fool here. That's just dumb. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.